Last night were the Golden Globes, one of the countless worthless Hollywood award shows whose audiences keep getting cut in half every year. Although people still do tune in, there are plenty of morons out there, as you know. But last year, nobody watched the Golden Globes because, and this is not a joke, the networks refused to air the show because there weren't enough black people in the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the group that votes on the winners. So it was black this year. Back this year, with a black queer host for extra diversity. But at least he or they or them or whatever this carbon-based life form's preferred pronouns are, had a sense of humor about being an affirmative action hire host.
I am your host, Gerard Carmichael. Sure. And I'll tell you why I'm here. I'm here because I'm black.
Now, I had never heard of this person or seen them before in my entire life, but I did notice that he spent literally the first 5 minutes of the show sitting down and lecturing the audience about racism and airing his black grievances. Starting in 2015, when liberalism really started to become a pandemic, the lunatics online had been complaining about the lack of diversity in Hollywood award shows, which is a code word for too many white people, through hashtag campaigns like Oscars so white. But there's one place where there's definitely not a shortage of black people, I guess aside from the FBI violent crime statistics, and that is in television commercials. Most people are afraid to say anything about it, but we've all noticed. Sure, there are still some white people in television commercials, but they all seem to have black wives or black husbands. It's been a diversity overload ever since the Black Lives Matter riots of 2020. The memo went out in Hollywood that showing a white family, especially with white children, isn't allowed anymore. But despite white people virtually disappearing from television commercials, there is still one role in Hollywood that's being offered to them. Kumail Nanjiani, or however the heck you pronounce his name, if there was somebody who should have used a stage name, maybe it's him. But anyway, he is a Pakistani-American actor, and he has revealed that Hollywood producers and directors don't want to cast non-white actors as villains. You heard that correct. They only want bad guys to be white. Another dirty little secret of Hollywood that few want to talk about are the number of white men who surprisingly get cast in television commercials are usually depicted as buffoons who are humiliated by black people or need their help to be shown the way.
I emailed you the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion report from SHARE.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, and it wouldn't be a Hollywood award show without those leading our cultural decay, celebrating a man wearing a dress. Seriously, this guy's entire job is to present an award at every Hollywood award show while wearing a dress. He even plays the fairy godmother in the new live-action film of Cinderella. In other entertainment news, Chris Harrison, who was fired as the host of The Bachelor a few years ago after working on the show for 20 years, is finally speaking out, which means his NDA must have expired. He wasn't fired for the usual reason a host or an actor gets early retirement, getting caught being Jeffrey Epstein's customer. He was fired because he literally wasn't upset enough over the woman who won over the heart of the first black bachelor on the show over a dress that she wore that the morons in the liberal media deemed racist. Photos surfaced of her from a few years earlier when she was in college going to an Old South party or an antebellum party where all the girls dress up in dresses from the 1800s and celebrate their Southern heritage at a big ball, but that's not allowed anymore. Seriously, Chris Harrison didn't pretend to be outraged enough, so they fired him. Then the new black fill-in host berated her in the post-series interview, along with the black bachelor himself, telling her that he wasn't sure that he wanted to stay with her if she didn't understand his blackness.
You not fully understanding my blackness and what it means to be a black man in America, and what it would mean for our kids when I saw those things that were floating around the internet. And it broke my heart because this is the last conversation I thought we'd be having. I didn't sign up to have this conversation.
I think he meant she didn't understand his black fragility. Maybe that was all staged and the producers had them play up the racist storyline after the pictures of her in the dress surfaced. Or maybe she really is that stupid and sat there and listened to someone that she supposedly loved Tell her that she needs to really appreciate being with a black man. Something everyone will appreciate, however, is if you start using an ergonomic keyboard, which can help prevent or alleviate carpal tunnel or tendonitis. So there's a link in the description below to the one on Amazon that I use. Anyone who has used a computer on a regular basis for a decade or two could probably tell you about the dangers of repetitive strain injury and how important ergonomic keyboards are and how dumb the old-fashioned rectangular ones are because they aggravate your tendons over time. It's actually shocking that they aren't the industry standard along with the vertical mouse, which also takes a strain off your tendons because your hand isn't twisted for the entire day. Those who use them totally understand. Those who don't, sadly, will most likely end up learning the hard way. So order yours from the links in the description below. This is not a paid endorsement, by the way, but I do use an Amazon affiliate link, so I will get a small commission if you buy them, but these are literally the models that I use. Probably any ergonomic keyboard or vertical mouse would be better than the standard equipment that most people are using, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds. So click the links in the description below and check them out.